Hi everyone, just going to dive into BTT then, Bittorrent token, BTT USDT ticker. And once again, thank you for your continued support and everything you do across the channel here that you do to contribute towards the growth of CoinsKid. The comments, the likes, the shares, everything that we get on the channel is superb, and I really do appreciate it. Okay, thank you very much. Have a really good weekend wherever you are in the world, and it's great that people from all over the world are watching these videos. It's amazing that we can connect with people like that. So we're just going to dive into BTT then, and sorry the chart's a bit messy, but you can see it's basically played out exactly to a T, like we outlined in yesterday's video. So I've just tidied this up a little bit, and I can show you that we were targeting this inverse head and shoulders pattern that we had going on, and you can I said to you that when it does break out, you got that target, and look at that, boom, straight on the money there. So that was perfect trade. Okay, so when it broke that particular level of resistance right there, you could see it went up and broke that resistance, and it pumped a mega 17% there before it hit its head and started to correct. So we'll tidy this up right now. And unfortunately as well, we did say that, you know, all transparency at all times, that you couldn't afford to lose this level, because if you start to lose this level, you're forming the lower lows, and you sort of not found the bottom that we're looking for, and you're potentially going to roll over again and come back down and test these lower levels of this retracement right here that you've got going on. So like I said to you, when you go, you make a top and you fall back down and you start to retrace, you do look at these key levels of support. Okay, and you can see that it's held up on the 0382 as a really key level of support. I'm just going to tidy this chart up right now. Okay, you can see it's held it as support, so that's golden, brilliant. The higher it holds support, okay, on a retracement, the stronger the trend, and you can see that effectively the BTT has gone up a lot there. There's a massive impulsive wave on that daily time frame. So what I'm going to do now, hopefully we've found the retracement and that's complete and we've got the bottom. So what we need to do now is obviously look at where we're going back to, and potentially the resistance levels going forward. So we're going to drop another Fibonacci in it in a moment, but you can see what it's doing. It's effectively gone up and hit that level of resistance just there, because you can look at the chart without dropping indicators in. You don't even need the EMAs in sometimes. Okay, look, you can get rid of these EMAs like this. Like, get rid of them, and you can see that when it goes up, hits its head on resistance of that previous high, it's come back down, it's found support, okay, and then it's gone up and it's hit its head on that resistance there. So you can see that without any indicators or anything, or special indicators, RSI or MACD or anything like that, or even volume, you can just look at the chart, okay, and see potentially drawbacks, because like I said to you, when it goes up, swing high, look where it falls back to, swing low. Do you see that, where the swing low falls back to the previous high? So you can actually chart things without bringing up indicators and EMAs and RSIs and MACDs and stuff like that. You can just sort of chart just from looking at the candlesticks. It can actually be that easy sometimes. Okay, again, you've got this trend line here, that trend line there, the inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, broke the resistance and pumped basically. So no indicators would have shown you that, no EMAs, no RSI, no MACD, just levels and trend lines. Okay, so it's all good, it's golden. We're looking like we're tracing, and right now, just off the bat, that looks like a really nice pattern right there. That looks a bit of a bull pennant to me. So we're gonna look at that in a moment, because a bull pennant's a very bullish thing indeed. Okay, so basically what a bull pennant is, it's a 4 hourly time frame. It's when it starts to get trapped in a sort of triangle. Okay, you can see it's sort of getting trapped at the moment, and it's trading sideways. It's in a level of resistance and coming back down and at a level of support. So effectively it forms something like a horizontal triangle, which you've come up into, which is a continuation pattern. Okay, if you fell into it, usually it's a continuation pattern to the downside. You come up into it, usually it's continuation to the upside, and especially in a bull market, it's obviously a continuation to the upside. So the longer that you sort of do this, okay, the more you get towards an apex of a horizontal triangle or bull pennant or any kind of triangular pattern like that, the more you start to look to that breakout. And one indicator of the breakout is depleting volume. At the moment, you've not got the depleting volume. What you need to see is the volume really tail off. Okay, you'll see the volume tail off, and that's indicative that the breakout is coming. So at the moment, yeah, it does look like a bull flag, but there's a couple of indicators that are missing at the moment, with the volume not tailing off as much as I'd like to see. But that can come. You start to see the volume just tail off a little bit, and it's an indicator of a breakout basically. So you can see in a minute, it's sort of indecisive, okay, but a little bit indecisive. Do keep an eye on that, because if that does form a bull flag, okay, a bull pennant, sorry, on the 4 hourly time frame, where it sort of goes up and down, like it gets tighter and tighter, and you start seeing it getting tight, that means it'll have a breakout, and your target is this. Okay, this is called the flagpole the previous level of consolidation where it formed a base and went up and at the top, okay, you have a breakout target, and it's simple as that. Look, so wherever you break out, obviously along this trend line somewhere, say you get towards the apex just there, you could potentially be looking at that sort of breakout there for BTT, and that'd be a nice little pump there. That's a nice little target, and that would be a trade of around, if it was to break, again, always trade on confirmation, just like the inverse head and shoulders pattern that we posted yesterday in the video. Always trade the confirmation of the break. Okay, so effectively what you're looking for here, as this broke this resistance line, you know, that was the trade to take on, and it was a fantastic trade. And again, as you break this resistance line, look to go along and take on that 20% trade up to that potential breakout target there of this bull pennant. So it's looking good, guys. It's looking good. It's looking good for that we're getting up. But like, again, I said to you, as you go up, you're going to hit levels of resistance. You can see just there, that's a level of support that it fell back on, lost its support, came back up and had another go at resistance, obviously rejected and started to roll over, and you can see it hit its head and another go just there as well, and that just capitulated and rolled over before it found this base, which I do remember we were targeting this as a reversal, but it was a little bit optimistic. Okay, a little bit optimistic for that reversal. It was a bit of a V-shaped recovery, and I do remember saying that in V-shaped recoveries you do see the sort of march on effect, and it was just hanging around a bit too much. Do you remember? And it started to lose it and come back down, and then obviously we formed this lower low, which was hopefully the base right now. Hopefully it's still not out the woods yet, because obviously you've got to beat previous highs as resistance and get through those to get the full recovery. Okay, so it's all good at the minute. It looks good. It looks good. It looks like the recovery is on the way, but I don't want you to get too excited, because obviously anything can happen. It's crypto. Okay, and this is what happens. The MACD is looking relatively healthy on the 4-hourly there. We started to see this. We've got the histogram where you're rolling over and you're looking bearish. Oh no, but you got saved, and that was that savior there where we still formed that high low. Do you see that? So another thing I want to bring into your attention is just here, you sort of now got this ascending kind of trend line. Okay, so you could still see BTT fall back down to it and still be in a bull market and still in an uptrend, okay, and start adhering to this sort of a trend. Again, if you start to lose that level there of support and you roll over, we can't afford to make any lower lows, because if you do, then you're invalidating this reversal pattern as outlined in yesterday's video. But I want to reassure you, so far so good. It looks good for the recovery, and we're marching onwards and upwards. So what I'm going to do is drop the EMAs back in right now. I'll leave this target in here. Do keep an eye on this particular pattern that's being formed just here, because the fact that it's tightening here, and the more you sort of tighten in here, it's more it's prominent to a breakout. Okay, so I'm going to drop the EMAs back in, and as you can see, the EMA is looking beautiful. We've got that thing there called a bullish cross. Do you see that on the 4-hourly time frame just there? That's a bullish cross, and that's really good, because basically we were in a bearish cross. You see, it's bearish cross contributing to the downtrend, pushing it down, and you needed that volume to come in, and that save you just there to save her ass, to push you up and form the bullish cross. This is a really, really good thing, the bullish cross. Okay, it's like a big signal to buy and go to the beach, basically. Not necessarily on the 4-hourly time frame, on the daily and the weekly, it's a really, really strong signal, and we are targeting crypto projects that are forming that. Okay, so they're definitely something that you need to keep an eye on. I'll remind you, we're in a bull market, and we're in a sort of the alt season stage and the mania stage, so you are going to see a lot of pumping alts across the board over the next few days to a couple of weeks, hopefully. So it's all good. It's all good. It's looking really good. But again, always be aware of the breakdown. You know, if you did start to roll over now for BTT, do target a 20 EMA retest that we can hold that as support and sort of march on and on upwards to get to these levels, and obviously our full retracement to the all-time high there, which would be amazing. Okay, so effectively when we form this double bottom, you know, you could be looking at 100%, 94% trade from the bottom there up to the previous all-time highs. So that's golden. So reassure you, so far so good. We're painting some lovely patterns, bullish cross, bullish pennant on the 4-hourly time frame there, and it's all golden. We'll just have a quick look at the daily time frame here for BTT. Yeah, look at that, beautiful. So yeah, I mean, you could look at that on the daily, and it looks like a bit of a bull flag, to be fair. You know, you're falling down like this. In effect, it's even, yeah, kind of bull flag, bull pennant type thing. You see what I mean about it? It starts trading sideways, and it hits resistance, hits support, resistance support, and all of a sudden it gets tight and breaks out. And that's effectively what you've got there as well. So again, that's measurable, and I think I may have already measured that. But if that is an actual bull flag, but it's not necessarily a bull flag, more of a kind of, it's difficult to say. It might even be some kind of descending triangle type pattern there, or even some kind of falling wedge. There's so many different patterns, okay, but at the end of the day, it's a bullish pattern, whatever it is, okay, and you do seem to have broken out of it, which is confluence with the fact that you've got the reversal. Look at the yellow line, okay, the 20 EMA on the daily. It's looking beautiful, looking beautiful. So from that, okay, you've got a price target from that, and if that is some kind of bull pennant, bull flag, look at that. Look where you could pump up to, and that's bang on our price prediction up there is 0.17. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All the patterns play into one. We're looking golden, and you hopefully, you know, this level of consolidation that you've gone through is just something like what we went there before. We got pump up there, and obviously something like that where we went sideways and got the pump up there as well, and it's just continuation, just like I've outlined in so many videos before. But what you've got to be careful of is the overextension on the EMAs. I'll be honest with you, okay? The RSI is starting to come up, but you can see this particular red line and the yellow line, okay, is a little bit overextended. So I wouldn't necessarily think that we're going to start smashing the all-time high anytime soon and moving on to this future price prediction right here for BTT, because of this extension here, okay, the fact that we've got this extension and this little bit of bearish bias still left on the MACD there, okay. Looking at that, we've got the bearish cross, we're starting to form the bullish cross, so we're pumping up a little bit on the MACD. It looks relatively healthy. The RSI is relatively healthy as well. You can see it potentially start to pump up and give a little more growth in there, but I do think you're going to come up against a level of resistance, and you will need to see that resistance come into play as well, and then a fallback, consolidate before taking the next leg up, sort of something like this, okay. So where you've gone up, made a high, you've come back, you've tried to make the high. Do you see that? So you could effectively look at something like this, where you've gone up, made a high, you rolled over, start to go up, as you approach the previous high, look what happened. You got rejected and fell back down, okay, and you got some of these levels reset a bit better than what this was. You come back down, you hugged the yellow line still, and then you continued. So you could look at something like that for BTT. We'll always be transparent in this channel and show you what we see. So you see something like that, where it comes up, gets rejected, rolls back down like that, and comes back up, and then on the second go it actually does it like it did there. Up, rejected, comes back down, second go, and actually breaches it and pushes on to make those highs. So do be careful, and do trade carefully, obviously, at all times. But remember, we're in a bull market, it's all good, and we're looking golden. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.